socket tonight, we got the good old rag joint. It's the first thing I'm going to install. And then we will be installing this steering shaft in the car, so I can start trying to complete my steering column. Alright, I'll get to that point and you guys will see what's coming up next. So I didn't end up using the part right here, the rag joint. The one that was on the Maverick that came off the car actually wasn't in that bad shape. Just one of the brackets were bent. See if I can show you. If you see, I've got a steering shaft in there, which I didn't have before, so you know that's a good improvement. Yeah. Well, as at work today, I had that little arm on the selector was straight. It was an angle, but it was straight, so I put a bend in it. I made this little bracket. I don't know if you guys can see it very well. I'm trying to see what I need to do to connect the shifter portion of the column to that shift linkage I installed. I'm hoping this will work. The plans are to bolt it in place, and if it works, I'll just weld it onto that shaft, and then that way it'll hold. Alright, so as you can see here, I've got it mounted. The shift linkage is bolted down onto the transmission, and I can go through all the gears. Let me show you. He's in park. Everything's all loose, so things are all wiggly right now. But I'm going to see if I can prop the camera and show you that I can move it from inside. And just remember, everything's loose, so let's see how this works. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go shift the lever. Well, if you could see, it shifted down. It just popped back off because I said everything's loose. Here is my next problem I need to figure out. So this right here is the factory Falcon mounting plate that goes on the firewall for the steering column. You know, this goes together here, like so. Your steering shaft goes through here. Well, here's the Maverick mounting plate. If you see, it's got these two bolts right here, and this is it actually holds the steering column down. So my plan is to trim this piece up, probably with, you know, I might need a die grinder. It's pretty thick. Also cut material off wherever, and then eventually split it, and then somehow mount this on here to mount that lower column piece, collapsible column piece, in about the right position, and permanently attach it to this piece if I have to drill some holes or whatever, so that way I can split it, pull it out if need be, but I also have the mount for the steering column. Alright, I was going to show you guys what I have got accomplished so far with my steering column. You look here, I just got the bracket sitting. But if you look down here, if you see that bracket that came out of that Maverick, it's bolted to the firewall. Just took a couple of self-tapping screws and screwed it down, and I was able to bolt the lower column in place. It's a perfect night to do it. It's January 27th, it might be the 28th now. It's after midnight. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. But we're having a nice warm snap here in Utah. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's currently 39 degrees, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning in January. good stuff. So, but yeah, hopefully I'll see where I can get with the rest of this tomorrow. I'm gonna cut the upper column tomorrow. Hopefully be able to slide it in and start determining what other modifications I need to do to make this setup work. But I think it's going to work great. Well, look at that. I got a steering wheel on my column. It gets kind of mocked in place for now. I'm just trying to figure out lengths on stuff, but you can see I got me a column kind of sitting there. Look down inside underneath here. I've done a couple of marks, and I'm going to pull it apart, take it into work with me tomorrow, put a couple of tack welds on it, and see how she sits, and I'll put her back in. And yeah, it's looking good. Pretty excited. Feels pretty good. Feels nice to sit behind the car and have a steering wheel in it again. So I real quick threw the shifter on, and the shifter tube from the Maverick, I can get it to line up mostly with that Falcon shifter I'm going to use. It's actually out of a 67 through 72 Ford truck, and that's where the D10 is with all the that part with the indicator and whatnot. But it got me thinking, if I didn't have to modify that shift tube too much, I might be able to just leave it the way it is and extend it far enough to fit into the the shifter mechanism, and I wouldn't, and don't have to screw with it too much. But it did change this. I don't know if you can see. It moved my shifter mechanism clear over there. And so I am just going to bend that little tab a little straighter so it's not as close to the rag joint, and make myself a new little bar. And hopefully that'll link up with that linkage, and it'll miss all the steering components. Alright, YouTube. Last night I played with it. If you can see this, I was trying something. I flipped that rod around and put a bolt through it and tried bolting it on there, see if I could get everything to line up right, and everything nothing seems to be lining up the way I want it to. And so I think I'm giving up on the automatic transmission on this car. My Comet, which is buried over here, you can see her sitting there. She's got a 3-speed top loader in her, and I actually have a 4-speed T10 I was planning on putting in that car, close ratio 4-speed T10. And so I think I'm going to pull the top loader, the 3-speed top loader, out of that car and put it into this car and just drop the automatic altogether, and not have to deal with trying to figure out how I'm going to get the shift linkage to work on there. And it should solve most of my problems. And stick shift car is a lot cooler overall than an automatic anyways.